It's time for a change.
I'm telling you right now, this is gonna skyrocket.
Enough with the suits.
Warren Buffett? More like Little Miss Muffet.
This is the digital age.
Transfer my money or I swear to...
The power is at your fingertips.
I'm up $2,000 today, and I kid you not, I've got no clue why.
Welcome to CorTrades.
All right, who can I blame? We're getting smoked. We're getting smoked on the market lately. CorTrades is back. We had this thing that I didn't realize was, I'd never heard this used before, but there was a little bit of a Santa Claus rally. But since then, it has been a new year. Holy shit, new lows. It has been bad, but this is the new kind of format for CorTrades. Get a monthly update. Picks-driven podcast. We've got our picks, crypto, NFT, traditional stock market, you name it. That'll be at the end of this podcast, and we'll also attack the headlines. Jack, welcome. You're sitting in for Austin. A little bit about your portfolio. How have you kind of dabbled into the financial world?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say I'm a little bit I like to dabble in crypto a little bit. I'm a fan of Chainlink, Ethereum, kind of the bigger ones. I haven't dove too deep into like the AltCoins or anything like that. And then, stocks, I like to, trade on Robinhood, stuff like that. That's kind of where I'm about. So
what's crypto at, Brendan? You're pretty crypto based with your portfolio. I mean, the traditional market's getting crushed. I'm seeing red every day. Like the Russell 2000, I think, is year to date in the red. But Bitcoin's there was a little bit of a rally. Now it's kind of lagging a bit behind. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's stuck at when I looked earlier today, it's a little bit above 41,000. I mean, it was at one point in the 60s. Chainlink, which is what I'm mostly invested in, Jack, is currently at $21 per share or per link.
So it's been, I was going to say, you talked about it in the last pod, which was about a month ago. So it's been down a little bit since.
Yeah, Chainlink fluctuates quite a bit. Like just a couple days ago, it was at 28.
Right.
So I think I mentioned this before. We have a friend here in Dallas who is really into crypto and dedicates all of his time to it. And he swears that Link, as well as a couple others, are going to be the future in anywhere from 1 to 5 years. So I started working for a new company, and I don't get a 401k match from them until I'm a year in. So as of right now, instead of contributing to my 401k, I'm taking all of the money that I would use for my 401k and putting it into Link, Ethereum, and Lido. I don't even know how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out over the next year.
That's what I've been thinking is kind of once I got into the stock market, which was probably 2 Decembers ago, which was okay, I'm dumping my money in. But now I'm kind of, I've siphoned off some money, and then, good thing I took it off, because then we had, this retracement back too. But I'm just when do I eventually start making that move where I'm getting out of the traditional stocks and moving to where you're saying putting savings, money set aside into stuff that I think is going to actually grow in crypto. New year, I wanted to look up some year to dates for popular stocks and companies. Penn down 57% year to date. I mean, again,
year to date, it's down 57%.
Year to date, down 57%. I just checked today.
Shit.
And it's Dave's kind of joking about it, where he was flying private all summer, and now he's flying coach. I think, or he's not flying coach, he's flying commercial. I think Spirit first class, which is basically you get one more inch on your seat recline. But how does that affect the company? It's obviously still, the market cap's obviously great, but when you grow so much a year like that, ARK, Kathy Wood's firm, 48% she's down this year. She's getting smoked, but that's because she had a great 2020.
Yeah, that's insane. And this is kind of off topic, but did any of you guys see there was a graphic put out of Nancy Pelosi and all these other politicians and how they compare to the stock market, and they're all just crushing the S&P 500.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why the people who are in charge of passing policies and making laws are legally allowed to trade because it's basically they're insider trading.
Yeah,
It's
there's
similar. Some former NFL player compared it to, if NFL players, if we can't bet on games, why can these lawmakers compete in the stock market?
Great point.
It's true.
Yeah, there's the Pelosi portfolio tracker on Twitter, and it gets it gets suspended all the time. It's like, come on,
bro, she's a whale. Like she's
Yeah.
like people are trying to get her plays. There was the couple of senators or whatever, like right before, before people knew that shit was going whack before March 2020, everyone sold the fuck out of there. I just read today, Peloton, before they were just absolutely tanked, like their CEOs sold a ton of stock right before it went down. I mean, to your NFL point, it's like, what if you knew Lamar Jackson wasn't going to play this weekend and you just go to a sports book and you fucking, before the line moves, before it takes off, you just put $100K down. Yeah. I think some senator did come out and say, hey, this isn't cool. Like they're trying to like make sure that senators can't do it. But yeah, Pelosi, who's like, what, a Democrat, right? She's just doing the headiest of plays there, getting her bag.
Yeah. It's a little fishy too, how some of them have big plays in Pfizer stock.
Oh my God. Bro,
Yeah.
And they just keep pushing more vaccine.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Hey, 6 notes. Yeah, it's crazy. Disney's down 13%, kind of like what we've talked about. It's like, are they prepping for a possible sale? They're cutting a lot of their longtime talent who made a lot. Netflix and Netflix and Amazon were about even. Apple is up 30%. Google up 55%, which their stock price is up over 2,000. So that was just a casual $960 in the past year.
Dear fucking Lord.
Isn't Alphabet, that's technically the company that bought Google? Like it's crazy how the food chain of like these big companies kind of goes down, because the big news in this recent week was that Microsoft purchases Activision Blizzard for just billions.
That was crazy because Activision was I don't know if you guys know the story, but they were in trouble. They're in the process of being sued because they have a big sexual harassment case. Apparently they were treating women in the office like, there was like crazy stories. They were making them like crawl around the office.
It was like Mad Men,
so their stock price plummeted, and Microsoft basically took advantage of it and just bought them for way cheaper than they would have been able to. Which, I'm a big video gamer. It's big for Xbox because Activision they make Call of Duty, they make a lot of big game titles. And again, this is, I guess, kind of off topic, but it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how many games are now going to turn to Xbox exclusive, which would in turn make Microsoft stock price go up. But yeah, Activision's stock price shot up as soon as Microsoft bought them.
I think I saw up 27%. And then today, Sony kind of tanked because it's like, what's your move? Now all of a sudden Activision and Microsoft is a player. And that was huge for Microsoft too, because you had kind of the Bill Gates rumblings. It's like, wait a second, how many times were you in Epstein's company? What's going on? He steps away, he gets divorced. And now they kind of like, it's a big boost for their company, obviously. And they really tied it into the metaverse, which is interesting too. But I guess you want to get right, Jack, into one of these big video game companies because there's so much more that they do. Like you said, Brendan, on top of Call of Duty, I think it like World of Warcraft are they involved in? Maybe like Candy Crush, like they're kind of tentacles all over the place.
Yeah, they do. I mean, there's a ton of games that Activision does. They're one of the most popular behind like Rockstar, which is Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I saw that this was going to be their first like metaverse play, and it sounds like they got it for pennies on the dollar. So that's quite a move by them.
Jack, I don't think you're going to like this, but Netflix is raising prices. Did you see
I
that?
saw that. What's up with that?
They're just like, hey, fuck you. You need us. You're not going to cancel Netflix.
I saw HBO just lowered their prices.
Wow. Heady play.
So, yeah.
Crazy to see how Netflix's arc, where they started as selling, I guess Amazon too, right? Obviously, but Netflix was like, hey, we'll send you a movie DVD into your mailbox. Now it's like, actually, we'll just give you an entire library with one click away on your TV.
Yeah, it's crazy how that changed.
We've mentioned in a previous episode of CorTrades that Playboy is a multi-billion-dollar company still. This was from a month or two ago, but Playboy has hired Cardi B as a creative director for fashion, digital content, and sexual wellness products. Baby,
Wow.
Smart
What?
move. I mean, get a famous person.
Yeah. What like what products does Playboy sell? They have like a magazine, right?
I guess like
But, like,
isn't that
other
just
than that-
collecting everyone's dust on top of everyone's
They have,
toilet?
I mean, they have a clothing brand. Like there's Playboy stuff at PacSun and stuff like that. So
I guess they could sell out like
merch.
their mansion, for like parties and shit.
Yeah, I guess. Does someone live there? Like, how Hugh Hefner used to?
I think
Yeah,
it's-
I was gonna say Hughes passed, right?
yeah, I think
so
it's
who's
just
like
kind
the
of
new
like
Playboy?
I think
And
it's
if,
just
if
kind of
there's
like
none, can I apply?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think they just kind of use it as like half of it used to be like an office almost, like when they had the show on E and stuff, you could see like into
Yeah.
kind of the life. I think they just kind of it's like a museum almost.
It's like an estate almost.
Yeah.
Like just hey, this was the brand.
Mhm.
But they're trying to stay relevant by doing shit like Cardi
to
B there.
get the WAP queen.
Right, exactly. Reddit is set to go public. It's like obviously that's such a useful and the clicks that thing gets, but like I don't really know Reddit's story. Like, how is that it's like a concept to me. How is that a public company all of a sudden?
Yeah, I feel like it's like a thread board almost.
Right.
Like
Yeah, I couldn't explain how that is a public company.
Here's how I think this was one of the more cutthroat business moves we've kind of talked about on Winging It, where Topps and Fanatics got into it, where they bought in pennies on the dollar. Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard amidst a scandal. Was what happened to Clubhouse? You guys remember that fucking app that was only that it was just like audio basically only?
And
that
it was invite. Wasn't it invite only?
It was.
Okay.
Elon was into it, and then it was super popular, and there was reports that Twitter was going to buy it for like 200 billion or something, and Clubhouse turned it down, and then Twitter made Spaces.
yeah, and now if you go to the app store and click on Clubhouse, it just says error.
Does it really? Okay.
Yeah, like when you try to open the app, so they're fucked.
Like you just missed out on life-changing money. Twitter just said, "Fuck you, we'll do your company ourselves, and we're more popular."
Yeah, what the hell? I never even really understood why Clubhouse was that cool.
I think it was because Elon was on it that one time, and it was during the meme stock frenzy, which has certainly waned away since we all kind of fell in love with it. But yeah, I think Twitter. Have you guys checked out Twitter Spaces for what it's worth?
Yeah, I have.
Very
That's
cool.
where,
I haven't used it yet.
Well, Twitter Spaces, isn't that where like someone can go on and like host a Twitter space where it's just them talking and you can just join in and they can choose to make you a speaker, or if not, you're just going to listen in and see what people have to say.
Yeah,
Right.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
basically
I've
what
checked
is.
it out a few times.
Like, what is its purpose? Is it just like if you're bored and you want something to listen to and you've kind of ran out of your usual
I
content?
mean, yeah. So basically, like, for example, I follow like this New York Giants Twitter account, and the owner of the account will get on there and just basically talk about a bunch of information that he knows about the organization, because it's just easier than, you're limited as to what you can do with how many characters you have in tweets. And
Right.
obviously
So
it's a
if
lot
you're
easier to
like,
express your ideas over voice than it is with actual and writing.
And it's kind of like how going live on Instagram. I compare it to that too.
okay, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. You'll get like an alert when someone
yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I feel like that's a spot. Like, Twitter's experimented with fleets that was gone after a couple months. So I didn't know if this was going to be a fad. Yeah, but maybe I'll have to check it out. Okay, before we wrap up Core Trades with our picks, it's a good old fashioned guess the market cap. Oh, first, here's a statement I heard on CNBC that's, it's going to ring true. And it just echoed to me. Everyone will have a VR headset like a smartphone in a few years. Like that's the name of the game.
That was a headline you saw, you said?
It was so like CNBC is the equivalent of ESPN, where you just have people in sports, but like people in companies coming out. So it's like some tech analyst comes on and was just like, yeah, I mean, look at the Oculus sales. It was the most downloaded app store thing on Christmas. Everyone's just going to have it like a freaking smartphone, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they definitely will. It'll take some people a while to get there, but a lot of people will definitely have them.
I've been seeing, I think Speed got one or something, because now he's been streaming like him like playing that scary game on the Oculus, like getting the shit scared out of him. All right, guess the market cap. Crocs. And are they making a comeback?
Crocs, like the shoe?
Correct.
I think they're definitely making a comeback. I'll put it at 30. No, I'll go 20 billion.
Jack?
10 billion.
7 billion. Their stock price is at 113. They are up 50% year to date. I mean, like, what? I never got into them, but
they're definitely
they're making a comeback.
Yeah. I would compare it to like how like Carhartt or a brand like that, like that's a normal brand. People start wearing it for fashion and then they resell, like Post Malone has a deal with Crocs. So like, even though they're ridiculous looking, like people have started to like implement them.
Aren't they comfy? Like, isn't that like one of their kind of things that sells them?
They are pretty comfy, and you can wear them like water shoes on a float trip, stuff like that.
I kind of just remember them like the Prius. I don't know. When we were growing up, we were like, "Whoa, you have a Prius?"
Yeah, they were like cargo shorts.
Exactly. Yeah, but hey, I'm sure the pocket on the shirt wasn't popular, and then all of a sudden, a new decade brought it in. Six Flags. Come on, this is a public company. SIX. They got. Hey, how do you play? They got that as their ticker symbol. Any takers?
I'm gonna go 10 billion.
They gotta be hurting. I'm gonna go 5.
Jack, eyes on the prize here. 3.44 billion.
Wow.
They're incidentally up 10% year to date. They must have bounced back from, as you said. Again, are we gonna? When's the next? We used to love this as kids in middle school and early high school. When's the next time we're going to Six Flags with our kids, right? Like, I guess that's just the market for it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and with COVID, you can't. I mean, I'm sure there's too many restrictions.
Yeah, I had heard during COVID they were like they were basically giving away season passes, like the way, like
in people's mailboxes.
Yeah, like please buy one. Like here's like $40, stuff like that.
All right, arguably the best ticker symbol on the entire market. Krispy Kreme donuts, ticker symbol DNUT. What do you think their market cap is?
7 billion.
Jack, let's stay hot.
I'm gonna go above this time. I'm gonna go 8.5.
Wow. Tough. 2.5 billion.
I almost went 3.
Yes, there you go. Trust your gut. They actually just IPO'd this summer. $15 stock price. It's interesting, the amount of companies that you can be public, and then it's just like a new cash flow. That's why we're doing this. There's still so much uncovered, in the financial world. I think's interesting. All right, let's get out of here with our picks of the month. Here is my play. I'm old school, traditional stock market pick. Target TGT. 224 stock price, $107 billion market cap, kind of like an upscale Walmart. We all know Target. They advertise well. They've been around for 120 years, which I did not realize. So like an established American company, and located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Their headquarters is probably, I kid you not, 2 minutes from my house. Everyone's going to be moving north up here once global warming continues to get worse. Boom. Target. That's my pick of the month.
Oh, yeah. Mine is something I actually saw this morning. It's the Full Send Meta card. So basically, it's an NFT that the Full Send guys dropped today. And full disclosure, I don't own this, but I just think it's going to be cool to follow. I think it had a minted base price of 0.08 Ethereum this morning. So basically, Full Send is planning to launch a bunch of branded ventures, like gyms and hotels and casinos, festivals. They're wanting to sign artists.
So they're kind of doing a little bit of the Barstool route, right?
Yeah. So, but on top of that, this was from what I was reading. As the metaverse expands, basically they're going to apply that same strategy in the metaverse. Yeah. So this meta card that's an NFT is going to act as a mint pass, which basically means if you hold this card, you're going to get first access to any, NFT projects that Full Send drops in the future. And they were promising today that they're planning on releasing like Happy Dad projects and
their vision,
planning to collab with a bunch of other, cool organizations as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that does short term and long term, as well as what other companies start to follow suit and do something similar.
Yeah.
Pick's so nice. You might as well pick it twice. That was Jack's as well, I believe.
Yeah, it was, but I just thought another one that just for a long term to watch, like another good old American store. Walmart just filed 7 trademarks in regard to the metaverse.
Really?
So, yeah.
What are you competing with me? All right, let's go. That's the name of the game. Well,
Yeah.
Walmart, Target.
Watch for that.
We're hoping to do some giveaways too. So maybe if you enjoy CorTrades, send us your stock pick, compete against us. We'll try and do this. That's the new thing, monthly. So we'll come back, we'll track it. We'll see if we can add to it. I'm reading here right now. This is according to brobible.com. I don't know if it's vetted, but the Nelk Boys netted over $23 million just after they released it. Like,
yeah,
once you get in that game and the money is just,
it just takes money to make money. It's crazy.
Bingo. And that's literally the fucking motto here on CorTrades. Appreciate Brendan Duarte, Jack Duncan stepping in CorTrades. We'll be back next month to check out those picks and kind of update what's going on in the world of finance, crypto, the market overall.